I feel like I have so much power with this mic in my hand. I said that without vision, the people perish, is a scripture that I referenced. And what I mean by that is God has given us a vision. And me as a leader, he has spoken to me and given me vision for this ministry at this church. And without God speaking, his people would perish. The people of the world would perish. I mean, God's word has sustained us and sustains this ministry. And the point is, he is the most important thing. But without a vision from the Lord to believe in, like, our dreams would die. And what we place our hope and faith in, like, without God speaking and guiding us in that, we would perish. And so we have to latch on to the vision that God has given this church, from Alex all the way down to the babies, but also what the Lord has given me and what the Lord will give your new student pastor. We need to buy into the vision and trust that God is speaking, and ultimately he is the one leading. And when it's a vision from the Lord, we will not perish.
All right, let's get this party started. Hey, whoa!
You're probably wondering what exactly is going on. Well, a few days ago, this guy here announced that he was leaving this building here to go to this building here, and everyone was really sad, because that meant we had 1 week to express our gratitude to these two people. So, while everyone got to work on their goodbye projects, one man stood alone. One mad lad got a crazy idea, and that mad lad is me. So me and my crazy little brain thought to gather everyone and say, hey, you know what, let's make a movie together. I mean, that's basically what happened. And so it was. And so I made a little video explaining my idea, and people seemed to like it. So after tons of texting, tons of footage, and tons of hours of my life I'm never going to get back, that brings us right to where we started. Now let me clarify. This is not what I originally envisioned. I wanted to make a much more stylish and cool edit, but when you're severely underqualified and have only a day to try and condense an hour and a half of footage into 11 minutes, it's going to be a bit difficult to live up to those internal expectations. So while the quality of this is something I'm not proud of, I am proud of my friends who came together to help me with this. While this now documentary is a bit underwhelming, I hope you can still recognize the heart that was put into it by each individual. So without further ado, the students of Battlecreek, South Tulsa present the farewell address.
Hey, Wyatt.
Hey Wyatt, hey Caris.
What's up, Wyatt?
Hi Wyatt, hi Caris.
What's up, Wyatt?
Hey Penningtons.
Hey y'all.
Hello, Wyatt.
Hey Caris and Wyatt.
Hi, this is Faith Hutchings, and I'm answering prompt 1. What is something that you love about Wyatt and Caris? Something I love about Caris is that she is such a strong leader and is always such a light for the Lord. How she's always leading us girls and me in the right direction. She always has something encouraging to say and is always reaching out and I know she always pushes me to be the best version of myself, specifically in the Lord, and has really helped me grow over the years a lot. And I'm so grateful for that. And I love her. I love you so much. And I think my favorite thing about Wyatt is also his amazing leadership qualities. Also, your sense of humor. I love your sense of humor. I will be getting you back for the, that thing. Eventually, in person. Hasn't happened in a while, but I promise it's coming. And I just love how much you work with the Lord to put into this student ministry, how much you put into the student ministry, and how much I know you're going to put into the main campus. And that's something I love, is that both of you are people that I can count on, and people I know will always care and always love me and all the other students, no matter if you're going to a different campus or not. So that's probably what I would say are my favorite things about Wyatt and Caris. Obviously there's many more, but those are some of my favorites. So prompt number 2, do you have a favorite memory with Wyatt or Caris? Firstly, I would like to go with Wyatt. I would say I have a lot of good memories. I think one of my favorites would probably be, I remember one time, I think it was like a summer Wednesday night, or it was a couple years ago, and we were playing volleyball with our volleyball net that we used to have. And I remember, I think we were playing girls against boys, and I'm pretty sure, I think Wyatt joined our team, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we played a couple times, but I believe Wyatt joined the girls team, and I'm pretty sure we crushed the other team. And that is a really good memory I have. Just stuff like that. And probably also just SLT meetings and Secret Hitler. That is a solid game. I feel like I'm not a very good liar, but I think that game has definitely helped, you know, when necessary. Obviously I wouldn't want to lie, but you know what I mean. But yeah, those are, I guess, a couple of the favorite memories I can think of. And just getting to be around you and cracking jokes and whatever. Those are probably my favorite memories of Wyatt. And then Caris, I have a lot of favorite memories as well. One of my favorite, it's not like a huge memory, but one of my favorite memories that I could really think of is probably at church camp this past year, when we were all exhausted. I think it was like the second or third day, maybe. You know, we'd been there for a little bit already. And I remember coming in from, I think it was Sky Time. We came in from Sky Time. And I remember being like, hey, Caris, can you braid my hair? And you were like, of course. And so I remember, I think Alex was braiding Addie's hair or something at our bunk beds. And I just remember sitting down on the floor, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but I just remember sitting there and you braiding my hair, and we were just talking, and I just really loved it. And it's not a big memory, but it's one that just the little things that I'm gonna miss a little, or a lot. I'm gonna miss. So that's a memory that I love. And also our dance classes, specifically the one from this past church camp, the Waffle House. That is core memory. That is a core memory. And you know, doing it in front of student camp at, I think it was the USA night or something. We rocked that. That's also one of my favorite memories. But yeah, so yeah, I think those are my favorite memories. There's many more, but those are some of the favorite ones that I can think of. So, prompt number 3. What are you going to miss most about Wyatt and Caris? To start off, I would say I'm going to miss, well, one thing I'm going to miss the most about Caris is probably just being able to see you every week, usually twice a week when you're not working, and community groups, and being able to, you know, talk about the lesson and what we learned, and just having you and your wisdom and things like that with Alex every week. It's gonna be an adjustment, and that is something I'm really gonna miss, because I love you being in our community group, and being my community group leader. So that is gonna be something I'm really gonna miss. And even our what's your favorite Starbucks drink, and who likes flavored water from Sonic, and just stuff like that. I am really gonna miss that a lot. And Wyatt, I think, oh gosh, I'm not gonna cry. Something I'm gonna miss most about you will probably be, one, gosh, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. One will probably be, getting to hear you preach, every Sunday and Wednesday. And then also just, being able to, you know, give you high fives, and, you know, doing SLT meetings with you, and, I don't even know, like, doing event like junior high rise night, stuff like that, foam night, dodgeball, stuff like that. I'm really gonna miss. Yeah, I'm really gonna miss it. But I'm so grateful for all the things that I did get to experience that gave me things to miss. Prompt number 4. Any words of encouragement? I am going to miss you guys so much. I can't even express how much both of you mean to me, and to my family, and all the ways that you've helped me grow as a leader, and taught me so many things. I'm just really grateful for it. So I know, since you've helped me so much, and you've taught me so much, and you've been there so much over the years, that I know you're going to be phenomenal at the main campus. If those kids don't love you, they must be insane. You are following what God wants you to do, and that's so admirable, and not many, or there's not a lot of people that would do that, because it's a hard thing to do, and it's really something to be able to watch someone you look up to so much be able to follow the Lord, even when it's hard, because it's hard, but I know that it's God's will, and it's something He's asking you to do. So you guys are gonna be amazing at the main campus. Wyatt, you're gonna be phenomenal with those kids. You already have such a talent for speaking, and I've seen so many times how God uses you through that. So I know that is gonna be phenomenal, and I'm so excited for you to be able to impact so many kids' lives through that. It's gonna be great, and super exciting. And Caris, oh my gosh, those girls, they are gonna love you. I love you so much, and I know that those girls, whoever community group you decide to help in, or any girls you meet wherever, they are gonna look up to you so much. They're gonna think you are just the coolest thing ever, because I think you're the coolest thing ever. My sister, all of the girls, we love you so much, and we want you to be happy and to have all the happiness. So I have no doubt in my mind that both of you will be phenomenal wherever you go, and whether that be the main campus or wherever life takes you after that, you will be perfect and amazing. And even though it's sad and change is hard, I know that this isn't a bad thing, and that it's gonna be okay, and that you guys are gonna be awesome. So I love you, both of you, and good luck, and I can't wait to see you. I'm definitely showing up at your house randomly, so be ready for that. And yeah, so we love you.
So, Prop 1. What's something you love about Wyatt and Caris? I think doing this prompt alone, I could go on and on. And just talk about the amazing qualities you guys possess. But these are the first few that came to my mind. So Wyatt, I want to let you know how much I love just your bubbly personality and just like how welcoming you are. Like, you can come to South Tulsa, and I've had some friends tell me like it's nerve-wracking because, you know, these people know each other and I'm new, but when they meet you, they just realize this is a safe and good place because you just have that welcoming smile and you're just so open and kind, and it makes anyone feel like they can belong, and it's such a beautiful personality that you possess. And then on the more quiet side, Caris, I love how good of a listener you are. In a world filled with laughter and crying and just everyone trying to get their voice out there, you're one who takes time and thinks about what you're going to say. And it's so inspiring. And not only do you choose your words wisely, but then when other people have things to say, you sit there and you take it in and you process it, and it makes every more conversation seem so much more meaningful because you can tell that you're paying attention, you can tell that you're caring, and it's a beautiful thing, truly. So, prop 2. What is your favorite memory with Wyatt and or Caris? So for Wyatt, the first thing that immediately pops into my mind is when I got baptized. For those of you who don't know, I got baptized last year? Yeah, last year in the fall. Not like last year, 2023, but 2022. And it was kind of random. So what it was is I had been praying, like, if I should get rebaptized. And so I was praying in the worship room. And then Wyatt's like, I feel like someone in here needs to be baptized. Raise your hand if that's you. So obviously I was like, oh my gosh. But when we got over there to do my baptism, we realized that the water heater was broken. And so I get into this water and it's like 50 degrees. So it's freezing. And me and Wyatt are just sitting up there, chattering our teeth, just waiting for, you know, for Keith to finish what he's saying. And while we're waiting there, me and Wyatt are just kind of talking. And that moment will always be something I will look back on. Because just some of the things you said, one of the things I remember you saying is, you know, this is real because no sane person would get up here in this freezing cold water. And it made the simple act of getting in water, like, it made me realize, like, just how passionate love for the Lord could be. And it's something that will always stick with me. And another moment is just like your face and how much it lit up after my baptism. And it was a very precious and sincere moment that I don't think I'll ever forget. So thank you, Wyatt. Thank you for being that person. But that's my favorite memory. Yeah. And then for Caris, there are so many memories I could go on and on about. We can talk about our C groups where you ask fun questions like, if you were Barbie, what Barbie would you be? I'm Baker Barbie. Or just the rabbit holes we get into about theology, which have helped me grow in my faith so much. I could talk about camp and how all of us are in there getting ready for USA night and you're putting on your wig and it's just chaotic but fun. Or our community groups at camp where we're all just sitting together and praying and sharing salt and vinegar chips. I can talk about the dances you and Alex have led, whether it's Waffle House by the Jonas Brothers and this random guy in a dance class comes in with the most swagger and turns his hat around while doing a move and just had all of us laughing. Or most recently when we did speed drive at TUL and we were just in there and having fun, and just all my memories with you are so joy-filled and just a source of happiness. And I think that just says something about your character is you have fun, but it's not just like this little bit of fun. It's something that will last with you. And when I'm feeling down, I can remember these moments and smile and be like, man, I have this amazing group, Caris, and truly that group was a huge part to you. So I thank you very much for that and for making all those little memories that will stick with me. Prompt 4, words of encouragement. This prompt personally really stuck out to me because I feel like you two are always the ones encouraging us, whether it's to grow in our faith or go out and audition for courts or anything. You guys are always there and supporting us. And now it's our turn to repay that. And so I encourage both of you to continue being you, because both of you are such wonderful and kind people. And I know that no matter where the Lord takes you, whether it's South Tulsa or BA or the moon, that if you guys just continue being who you are, continue being those thoughtful people who live through the Lord, then others are going to recognize that. And they're going to be drawn like a moth to the flame. And you're going to, and knowing you guys, you're going to point that attention to the Lord. And that's a beautiful and just humble thing. And that's who you guys are. So just continue doing that, because being who you are is the reason we made this video. Is the reason because all of South Tulsa loves you so much. It's not because you pretended to be this high and mighty person or because you were faking it. It was because you were simply being Wyatt and Caris. You weren't trying to be anyone else. And so just continue being you. And I already know that they're going to love you so much more. Maybe not so much more, but they're going to love you just like how we love you. So, yeah.
So I'll be answering prompt number 1. What's the one thing that you love about Caris and Wyatt? So obviously I have a lot more than one, so I'll share a few. Wyatt, I just love the way that you're able to like connect with all the students like on just a deeper level than like, hey, how are you and stuff, and you get to know them, and like you really make it fun for people to come to students and talk to you. Another thing I just love is your humor. You have a great sense of humor and you're always cracking jokes up on stage, and I just love that. Caris, something I love about you is you never like need the spotlight, and you've just been such like a faithful leader throughout like this whole time, and especially as like our small group leader for like the whole time I've been in students. You've just always given like great advice and just been there for us. Okay, anyways, what I was saying, Caris, I just love how you're just always there for it, all of like the girls and everything and everybody, but you've always been there for me specifically whenever I need something or I'm struggling. You've always been there to pray with me and stuff like that. You're super fun to talk to, super easy to talk to, which I love. Okay, so for prompt number 3, what I'll be missing most about Caris and Wyatt. So I think what I'll miss is honestly just seeing you guys every single week, just seeing your faces and like your smiles, and Caris, your amazing outfits. So I'll miss that. I'll definitely miss Wyatt, you up there preaching and sweating and cooking for us up on stage like you made guac that one time. Me and Jayla don't remember that. We've talked about that. We love it. Okay, so I'll be answering prompt number 4, any words of encouragement. So I just want to say, like, I know that you guys will both do like so great because you've done such a great job, like leading South Tulsa and growing us to like where we are today, because like we wouldn't be anywhere this close to where we are without you guys. So I know you'll do great at the BA campus, just leading so well there and growing them and getting closer with all those students. And I think that's just such a great opportunity for you guys, even though I'm really upset that you have to leave. I know that's a really great opportunity for you guys. So I just want to say, like, I know you'll do like amazing things there and you'll really work in people's lives there.
For this video, I'm going to be answering prompt number 2, which is what are my favorite memories of Caris and Wyatt. So first I'm going to start off with Wyatt. So if you all don't know, me and Wyatt have this handshake. I'll insert the handshake right here. This should be playing right now. And it is this handshake we had created about 2 years ago. It's just something fun we had. And we would do it every Sunday and Wednesday. And then I discovered I was going to Egypt with Wyatt. So we decided to throw in the pyramid. And the whole plan was to do it in front of the pyramid as just like something cool to have, like a fun memory and like a cool picture. So we did it every Sunday and Wednesday, every time we saw each other and every time before I left. And then it was a few days before Egypt of 2022. And Wyatt got sick. Like, could not go sick, so we couldn't do our handshake, which was really upsetting. I was like, oh dang. So we continued to do it for another year. So at this point, we've been doing this for a while. We had done this in so many different places, student camps. We had done this thing one time at one of the student camps we had. It was the 2021 student camp. We had it at Broken Arrow just because we just didn't know the camp vibes and stuff like that, and we didn't have a place for it that year. And they had built this giant mountain in the worship center called Mount Battlecreek, and we were competing for Squad Wars, and of course I won because I'm just like built like that. And I had, of course, won, and I climbed to the top of the mountain, and when I did it, Wyatt was up there and we did the handshake. So it just became something like that. It was common for us to do, so we couldn't do it. And then finally we make it to Egypt in 2023. We don't do the handshake at all, besides the once during the whole trip. And that's when we had met at the Broken Arrow campus before we had all left to head to the airport. We do the handshake in front of the pyramids, and it was just such a like surreal moment to get to do that with Wyatt, because it was like something that we had been doing for so many years now, that we like finally got to get that handshake down, which was just such a fun time. And as I'm telling this story, I'm remembering that soon, or maybe this has already happened, I'm about to do this handshake for the last time as Wyatt's student and as Wyatt is my student pastor, which is just crazy to think that after 4 years of knowing Wyatt and 4 years of life change and constantly being under his teachings and just having Wyatt, that Wyatt's not going to be there, but I'm excited for this new opportunity. But I'm definitely nervous, and I'm definitely going to miss Wyatt a lot. Okay, back with another video, and I'm re-answering prompt number 2. Can you please take that out, Jack? I don't like that. So, I'm going to be answering prompt number 2. What is your favorite memory with Wyatt or Caris? And this video is going to be talking about my favorite memory with Caris. When I think about memories with Caris, there's so many things that come to mind, because I have spent so much time with her for these past 4 years, from attending her wedding, seeing her Sundays and Wednesdays, going to camps, going to Egypt with her twice, which was some of the best experiences and really good bonding with Caris. But one specifically stands out to me. It was a moment I had just got to talk to Caris by myself, and it was at our J-High Rise Night this year for 2023 for our upcoming 6th graders, which was a super fun night. We got covered in shaving cream. We had put shaving cream in me, Alex, and Faith's hair and Caris's, and did our hairs in some weird style that was just really funny. And then soon we realized Faith has lost an earring, so we're all searching for it. But as we're searching for it, I'm searching with Caris. I just had to have a conversation with Caris and talk to her. It's like one-on-one, and it was just like, that was just such a memorable time with Caris, because we had just kind of recently-ish got back from our mission trip about 2 weeks ago. So I got to talk to her about that, which was just a really fun experience to get to reminisce on those. So that's like one memory that sticks out. Another one that I think is just a funny memory, that was more of like a life-giving memory, really funny memory with her, was us in the airport in Egypt. There was some flight issues. Maybe I can tell you guys that later if you want. It's kind of boring thinking about it, but in the moment it was really stressful. And so we're all trying to go through security. The plane is boarding. There's 19 Americans who aren't going to be on that plane. How it's looking, nobody's getting through security. Everybody's getting flagged. But me and Caris make it through security first. And Caris at this point is super sick. I'm not sure if a lot of y'all know this. Caris got really sick on that trip, which was really upsetting. And it was just a whole big thing while traveling back. But me and Caris make it through the security, and we're kind of trying to figure, Caris is trying to figure out what to do. I'm not trying to figure out what to do. I'm a student at that point. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But Caris is a leader, and she's like, what do I do? So she's trying to signal to Wyatt to see if she can go. Wyatt's not paying attention. He's too busy trying to get him and a few other students through security. So all I remember is Caris just grabs my arm, and just we run through the airport to our gate, and we come up like panting, like, oh my gosh, please hold the plane, please hold the plane. The rest of us are coming through. There's like 20 more of us, like, please hold the plane. But also, as this run is happening, this girl named Kaylin, who's on her trip, comes out of the middle of nowhere running with me and Caris. And it's like, it was a decently far run, and we were just running through the airport. Caris is super sick. I've got my bag, and she's just like, come on, Riley, we gotta go, we gotta go. And luckily, I'm not sure if y'all know, we did make it on the flight. But that was just a really funny memory to me of Caris that I could think of. But it was definitely really hard to pinpoint one memory. But I'm going to miss you, Caris. And I hope this new chapter of your life treats you well. And I hope that you find girls at Battlecreek who needed a Caris like I did. And like many of the girls in our community group did.
My favorite memory with Caris was whenever we were at camp last year, and I thought I lost my backpack, and I realized right before lunch, so I was like, Caris and Alex, I need to go find my backpack. It has my Bible, my clothes, my camera, everything I need. So they were like, okay, yeah, let's go find it. We hiked all across camp, back and forth, for about, I would say, 35, 40 minutes, and we missed lunch. We missed lunch. We made it, like, with 2 minutes left, but it was such a tiring and hot walk in the moment, but the stories we told on that walk were so fun and so fulfilling, and just the laughs we had were so memorable, and I'll never forget that moment. But turned out that my backpack was actually just sitting on my bunk bed the entire time in the cabin. So backpack was never lost. I guess God just really thought we needed that lock. Because I'm telling you, the backpack was not there when I looked before, so I don't know. My favorite memory with Wyatt probably had to have been coming early every Wednesday, like where we'd go straight from school, straight from church, whether it was with Riley or Chase, because I didn't want to go home, I just wanted to go straight to church. So we'd like knock on the door for him to let us in, and we'd go in and either just do homework, sit on the couch, play video games, jungle pong, so many different things that were so fun just to like bond and have good times and memories. I'll miss those very much, but I'll also miss him huddling in the corner with his phone every single Sunday and Wednesday, every single time. He'd connect his phone to the speaker, and for some reason the speaker was always on like volume 100, so the first millisecond of the song he chose would just blare, and I would jump every single time. So in the moment I did not like it, but looking back it was funny how it happened every single week. But those are just two of my favorite memories, but I have many more.
Hi, this is Whitley Fallett, and I'm going to be answering prompt 1 and prompt 3 combined. So one of the things that I love most about Wyatt and Caris, and there's many things to love and many things I'm gonna miss, but one thing that I love is just how invested they are in all of us. They care so much about us, and I feel like it's hard to like find that, because like throughout the 4 or 5 years that they've been here, we've like gotten to like grow relationships with them. And like for me, I know that, so Wyatt came here when I was in 4th or 5th grade, and like even when I was in 5th grade I wasn't even in students yet, but I still felt like I had a small a connection that in a relationship that was growing with both of them, especially because of Addie, because she introduced me to them. But like Wyatt is so like, he is invested like in my brother too. He's in Paxton. You guys know, I'm having conversations. But anyways, so like Wyatt, you always see like sound so excited for Paxton to come to students, and it just like you like are, and you do your little this thingy, whatever you call it, with Jet, and I think it's really funny. But so just like we were able to like grow relationships with like is really special to me, because it's special to have like someone who like, you know, like wants to like talk to you and wants to like know more about it. Like for instance, I just came back from Portugal, and you guys are both like wanting to know about how Portugal was, and you were just, it's just really great to have that, I guess. And so I'm definitely gonna miss that, because I feel like since we've already grown a relationship, like it'll just be hard to let go of. But obviously we're still gonna see you guys, and like even with Caris, even though I'm not in your community group or anything, you still like go out of your way to ask me about stuff and to like help me feel like I'm like connected with you and stuff, which we have a relationship now, and we have for a while. But it's just like you'll talk to me on before church, like before student starts, or like on church on Sunday, and it just like, that's just something that like rested in my heart, and that I was like, I don't know, I just really like that. And so that ties into prompt number 3, what am I gonna miss most about you guys? And that's one of the things for sure. And I think even just like Wyatt, like your goofiness, it's just fun. Like, I don't know, you guys are just such amazing people, and I know like you've impacted so many people at South Tulsa. Like, it's not even funny, there's so many of us, and I just know that like you're gonna be able to reach more people at BA, and that's something that is gonna be really great for you guys, because like you're gonna be able to reach so many more people and make relationships with more people, and you're already like, we know that you're good at making relationships, as I just had my whole spiel about, but it's just a special thing, I guess. And we're gonna miss it. And I also think that, like, you're gonna do so amazing at BA, and I'm kind of just rambling here, but we're gonna miss you guys a lot. And we're just really happy for the time that we were given to be with you guys, because I definitely think that, like, I don't know, the time we were given was it was like the right time, at least for me. And like, I was coming into students, and I was blessed with an amazing youth pastor and an amazing Caris who was there. And just, it helped me to feel like, even though I just entered into students, like involved and everything. And like that, even though I didn't have a relationship with you guys, I knew that I could tell that you guys like wanted to form a relationship. And so we love you very much. We're going to miss you guys. But I think, well, obviously, because God has a plan for you guys, but it's definitely, it's bittersweet. I don't know, I've said that a lot because it's like bitter, because we're gonna miss you guys a lot. And it'll be a hard adjustment, but a good adjustment. But it's sweet at the same time, because we know that with BA, it's like, you're just gonna reach more people, like I've already said. And it's just, we know it's God's timing. And so I've just kind of been rambling, but thank you guys for everything that you've given to me, to the South Tulsa in general, to all the students. And thank you. You're gonna be amazing at BA, and I'm gonna miss you. So bye.
Hey y'all, it's Addie. I will be entering prompt number 1. What is something you love about Wyatt and Caris? So, really my first main core memory is your guys' wedding. Because I remember Wyatt had just come to be our youth pastor like right before COVID. And I remember we had met Caris and you guys were dating. And then like during quarantine, my mom saw a post and was like, oh, they just like got engaged. I remember being so excited. And then about, I think it was like a while later, a year later, my days could be super off, but you guys got married, and I remember it being like the most beautiful venue I had ever seen in my life. And I think that my wedding is going to be exactly like your wedding, mostly just because I remember after getting to know you, being able to see the love you have for each other, but also just the way that you're able to follow the Lord and place him very first in all of your life and in everything you do. And I remember like one of Caris's vows was to always seek the Lord more than she sought Wyatt. And I think that just both of you walking this out in your everyday lives for all these past years, that no matter what I didn't know, or the information I maybe lacked about the events going on at the church, or different things you guys were going through, I always knew that you guys were going to put Christ first in everything you did for the student ministry. And I think that is something that I so admired, because I was able to then learn how to put God first in my life. Because every sermon, every SLT meeting, every community group that we ever had, both of you were able to show me what it's like to live your life for the Lord. And I know that it hasn't always been easy, and that you guys have come in so many different ways. But really, it's just so impactful. And one of the things I really love about you guys is your ability to teach us those things and to show us a really amazing model of what Christianity is supposed to be walked like. I mean, I would say you two have been one of, if not the biggest models of that in my life. Just so many lessons that I have learned. I mean, from like serious ones to not serious. Like, there are so many things that I can attest to you guys being into our church. And I think one thing I love about you guys is your ability to just sacrifice for the Lord, to sacrifice things that you may have wanted, things that you may not have gotten to do, to spend time with us, to lead us, even when we're being extremely difficult. You always sought joy in our church, and you were always able to show us joy through that. And I think that's one thing I really love, because I don't know many people who can duplicate that enthusiasm like you two did. So that is my answer to prompt number 1, and I love you two greatly for it. In prompt number 2, what is your favorite memory? Mostly just because there are so many things I want to say and so many favorite memories, honestly. I think one of my very favorite early ones was right with Caris, right before, this was like in 8th grade. I had just cut my hair because I was like, I want it to be curly. And like, this is because of Caris, because I remember you coming over to my house and like before a Bible study we were doing, and you like came into my bathroom and you were like showing me how to like diffuse my hair and like make it look like yours. And now just like literally this is an aspect of me that will always be a part of me because of you. Like something so simple like that. The fact that I have curly hair now, but it just, not only that aspect, but Caris, so many things you have taught me are always going to be a part of me. Like, I think that from ages 12 to like almost 16 now are such a pivotal growing range, and being in your community group all these years has taught me so much. Like, I was learned that I can have fun and I can be crazy and laugh a lot and make up silly dances and go to the mosh pit and get covered in slime, even though it was gross. And we were all praying for you during that time. But also that I'm able to be serious and be a good listener and be able to really pay attention to how I'm feeling and how other people are feeling. And that I don't have to have a contrast and be one or the other, but that you have shown me that I get to be both, that I get to be fun and exciting and talk a lot, and I can also be a servant who is practicing humility. And I think you have been one of the greatest examples of humility in my life, Caris, because you have always been able to put yourselves down, not to lower yourself, but not to accept all of the glory that you maybe should receive, and to always be pointing it back onto the Lord. I mean, I think one of my favorite memories with you is really just those times at camp community groups when you were sharing your testimony. And I feel like there were so many things you could have said about your own life and your own perseverance and your faith, but it wasn't about your perseverance, but more of like what the Lord was able to do for you. And I think that was something that I really thought about in sharing my testimony, is like, what has the Lord done for me? And there's so many things that you have taught me every Sundays and at camp and at TUL that will be with me forever. And I just thank you so much for allowing me to have a short window of your life. And as for Wyatt, I think one of my favorite memories with you would really have to be like, I remember SLT interviews right before in 8th grade, and I was not really that nervous because I was like, oh, SLT, like I've known about this forever. But then walking into that room with you, and then I think Josh and Austin, was kind of scary. And I was like, oh, I don't know, like maybe I'm not right for this. But you were just always so calming, and you were always able to teach me how to look inside myself and become a better person. I remember, this was really early on, when this will have always be such a pivotal moment in my faith, but when I had asked you, like, you had asked us, like, if we are 100% sure that we're going to heaven and that we are saved. And I remember coming up to you afterwards and asking, like, well, how do I know? Like, I'm 99% sure, but like, what if something horrible happened? Like, what is future Addie gonna say? And I remember 12-year-old me saying this and being like, I didn't know if I would actually believe in the future. And I remember you telling me that, like, you knew that you asked me, like, if all of your loved ones died and you lost everything, would you still believe in the Lord? And I said yes. And you said, then that's your answer. And I think ultimately in that moment was the ability for me to trust in myself, to know that I could put my faith in the Lord and that the Lord would always be with me. And really just having that firmness of faith. I remember that being one of our first interactions after you came to South Tulsa. But just memories like that, where I was able to just ask you questions and talk to you, and you were able to help me through, I think, the problems I was experiencing. And just knowing that you were so wise in your way of the word, Wyatt, and that you taught me things like it's okay to be nervous, and it's okay to struggle with humility, and to struggle with fear, but that we could always turn to the Lord. And I think that you not only did this with your words, but like a good leader, even though few leaders do this, you were able to show us through your actions. There was not a single person in our church, Wyatt, who didn't look up to you as the pastor. And I think that I know I am extremely grateful for you not abusing your power, but using it in the best way possible and making our church a better place. And both of you were able to, I think, are one of the main reasons that our church is able to be like it is, because you guys have set the example of what community is supposed to be and what servanthood is supposed to be, of not making yourself a better leader and a bigger leader, but a lower servant, and lowering yourself below others, of washing feet. And that is the life we are striving to live. And I think that you two are the most pivotal example of that. And I'm going to be horribly sad, but I'm also terribly excited, because I know that you guys are going to do the most amazing things at BA, and I'm very blessed for the time that we were able to have with you. But I am even more grateful that all the memories we're going to have, and I'm grateful that you get to do these incredible things, because I know that our God is good and that He is going to use you for the most wonderful things at BA and everywhere else you go in your life. And I know that in a few years I'll graduate, and then I'll go to college, and then the rest of my life will live. But I know I will always have these incredible memories and these life lessons to look back on. And I don't know if I can ever express, like, I'm out of words, which is unusual for me, but I'm out of words to express how I feel and how I truly am blessed and grateful for this time that I've been able to have with you too. So thank you very, very much. You were always in my prayers, and you will always continue to be. And I pray for courage, and I pray for peace and for discernment as you walk through this next stage of your life, because you have been able to do it before here at South Tulsa, and you turned this church for a better. And I know you guys will do the same thing at BA. So goodbye, Wyatt and Caris. It was the greatest gift to have this time here.
This is Nikita, and I'm going to be doing prompt number 4. Someone's in my way. Hi, Wyatt. Hi, Caris. Love you guys. I just had a few things to say. Before you came to South Tulsa, our student ministry was like a funhouse mirror. It was distorted and shapeless, meaningless under the sun. It felt like we didn't have a direction to go. We were seeds thrown into the rocks with no hope, baking on the steaming concrete foundation our last stable environment left for us. You came to a blank canvas of a youth group. We had our spirit, but I feel like we, as a youth group, we didn't know where our relationship was with God at all. I remember my parents taking you out to lunch to tell you how blessed we are to finally have a new youth pastor, and
how you came to the right place. We needed you. But also to give you a vibe check. You definitely passed. Both of you. Caris, I don't quite remember meeting you for the first time. Only because I feel like I've known you forever. You guys are my safe place. Not just in our community group, but I know I can come talk to you guys and I can rely on you for prayer. But I want you to leave knowing that you left my canvas vibrant. Your insight as a son and as a daughter of the Lord, our God, led me to restore my faith again. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. Amen. I love you guys.
Hello, Wyatt. I am completely improvising this. I'm just saying whatever's on my heart or my mind. I'm very sad you're leaving, but I'm very happy you're choosing to follow what God has for you. Just like you did when you chose the move to ORU, even when your family was against it. So what I'd like to talk about first is the first few years I knew you and how patient you were with me, despite how distracted I was in my journey and how honestly spiritually immature I was. Because again, all the people I hung out with at church was like the gamer team. We didn't talk about church, we talked about video games. But even during that immature phase of my life, you still poured into me and got to know me, even when you could have easily been like, he's an immature 7th, 8th grader, I don't need to pour into him yet, when he's still mature. And I remember the connection grew over the summer with home groups. You played Mario Party 8 with us at the Fallett's house during home groups. I remember when we talked later down, all of us, an actual sort of community group thing. Something about you just choosing to play Mario Party 8 with us, even though at the time it probably seemed meaningless and I should try and pay you back. So I focused in and I actually grew my relationship so much that summer, but I couldn't figure out why I couldn't just concentrate during worship. There's no one I really wanted to talk to it about. I believe it was October 10th. I'm not exactly sure. It was in 2021 as a freshman, and we talked for a long time, 2 hours. I just shared every single thing about my spiritual journey up to that point. And eventually, after I talked for a while, you said, "I'm so proud of how far you've come. And I'm finally glad that you're starting to realize spiritual maturity is of importance." And when TUL week in 2022 came, it was such a strange experience because I felt the spiritual shift. That night, there was one person I wanted to track down and talk to it about with, and that was you. And you told me I had the gift of spiritual discernment, and I told you about the whole sleepover situation. All I really wanted to do was go to the sleepover. But me and you, when we talked about my spiritual discernment, you were the first person who told me I had the gift of spiritual discernment, and I still notice it today. We both knew as we talked that the right thing to do was not to go to the sleepover, and I even knew it. And I think I even maybe said something I know what the right thing to do is. And you said good. Or it was something simple like that. You brought Steven to South Tulsa. I'm very glad you could be on this long journey with me.
Hey, I'm Grant, and today I wanted to share about some of my favorite memories I have of Wyatt. And the first thing that came to my mind was camp. And I'm pretty sure it was one of the first years I went to camp. I decided to recommit my life to Christ. And what made that memory so much more special to me was that Wyatt was a big part of it. And he got to baptize me. And that memory of Wyatt will forever be cherished in my heart. And I'll always go back to it. And I have to say, early morning Bible studies were by far one of my favorite things. Whenever we'd get to do it, we'd usually get to, share about our lives and get to pour into each other. And that has definitely changed my life, and will always be cherished. And guys' night, for sure. Guys' night has been amazing when the times we have it. Whether it was at Mark's house or Mr. Hewitt's house, both times were amazing, and Wyatt's presence just made it so much better. And Wyatt, I just wanted to say, like, you have impacted my life by so much, and I don't know if you know that, but you have been a huge role model in my life, and I couldn't thank you enough for being the youth pastor I could ever ask for. I will forever love you, and I'll always be praying for you, and I can't wait to see what you do at BA. Love you, bro.
If you didn't know, my name is Zach O'Brien, and I will be answering prop number 1, which is what is something that I love about Wyatt Pennington. And I think to start, the first thing that comes to mind is your leadership. Being on SLT, you told us our goal this year is to be intimate and meaningful with the relationships with the people around us. You brought us to the realization that we as the students are one of the main things that determines if a first-time guest comes back or not. You always pushed us to be the best versions of ourselves we could be. You led our youth, and most importantly, you led our youth group in a way that no one ever had before. You grew our youth group in a way that no one ever had before. And that's because of your leadership. Leading me, leading me, get it, pun intended. Leading me into my next thing, which is your love for the kingdom. When it came to your love for the kingdom, every event, every Wednesday night, and every Sunday morning, you were always unbelievably optimistic. Even if it was after a TO weekend or camp or just a long day before or late night the night before or anything like that, you were always optimistic. You're always excited because you were always ready for the opportunity to see the kingdom move, and that's something that I've always loved about you and the way that you. I guess that goes with leading us too, is because we want someone to look up to that has that drive and that excitement for the kingdom. And I think that's something that we've all kind of taken from you. And yeah, it's just, I don't want to ramble on too long, but yeah, definitely the things that I love most about you are your leadership and your love for the kingdom and excitement for the kingdom. Okay, and now I'm going to be answering prompt 2, which is some of my favorite memories with Wyatt, with you actually. And to be completely honest, most of them came from Saturday morning Bible studies at your house with Huey, Chase, and Joe. Usually it's 6 or 7 in the morning, which was sometimes brutal, but it ended up always being fun, so who cares? Anyway, the most impactful part for me on those mornings was being able to open up about things I was struggling with and things I was going through to people I knew I could trust. But those mornings also came with a lot of dumb and funny memories. There's a lot, and I'm not going to go into all of them, but here's a quick list. Number 1, Joe and Chase hurting each other, leg wrestling on the living room floor. Also, Joe being late most of the time. The protein pancakes were always really good, and those and the cinnamon rolls, I feel like we were the things that we fought over to see who would get the last one. Usually it was Chase. Among Us, after reading, and fighting over who got the corner part of the couch was fun. The morning, the Bible study before we went to camp, when we all carpooled over to BA to help
load up the trucks with all the stuff that the church needed for camp. Hashtag Hittites and hashtag still don't know how to pronounce it. But you know. If you know, you know. And I'm gonna stop there before it goes even further. Another memory was the first TWO weekend you were our pastor for, and me, you, Karsten, Austin, and Brody Lusk were freestyling the beats made on GarageBand on Austin's phone. And turns out we found out that night that you were really good at freestyling, and I think for a while that was all we wanted you to do anytime a trap beat came on over the speakers or just anywhere. Then there's the memory that's closest to my heart, and that is the night of June 29th, 2022. I had just truly asked Jesus to be my Lord and Savior for the first time, and I was really nervous and just kind of overwhelmed with the whole thing, because I had thought that Jesus was that he was my Savior for years. But just like the calling that I had that night kind of made me realize that he wasn't. But as I'm walking down the hallway to go talk to someone about it, and I get to the hallway, walking through the hallway, and I walk through the doors to get into the room where we're supposed to be talking to people, and the first face I see is yours, and as soon as we locked eyes, just this massive smile came over your face, and this look of proudness that I didn't think I would get from really anyone. I just remember I started to cry a little bit, and not a bad thing, because it was a really great moment. But just you, just seeing that look of happiness for me and proudness of what I had just done really made me comfortable and secure in my decision in that moment. And that's definitely something that I will forever remember. Definitely probably my favorite memory with you. And then there's always you launching me off the block at camp last summer, all those memories, but definitely the one from the night that I got saved will forever be my favorite memory. During prompts, I think it was either 3 or 4, don't exactly remember, but it's words of encouragement for you. And I just wanted to tell you to continue to be yourself, continue to let the Lord move through you and through your relationships with your new students that you're gonna have at BA, and just continue to show God's love and continue to make intimate relationships and close relationships with the kids at BA like you did with us, and just continue to be you. Can't say this enough, but just let the Lord move through you. You're gonna do amazing things. I believe that. I have no doubt that lives will be changed at that BA campus with you as their youth pastor. And just keep doing your thing. Keep being a great guy. And that's really it. Thank you for 4 amazing years, and I'll see you later, because I'm gonna end up seeing you at camp, buddy boy.
Hello, this is Ethan Deo, and I'll be answering prompt 2. My favorite memory about Wyatt would be guys' night when we all played Secret Hitler, and it was just like everyone was just blaming each other and just screaming at each other, and it was just so hilarious. And I couldn't take that back. It was so fun. And then for Caris, my favorite memory was just at church camp, how you took care of me when I was sick and I couldn't like walk or anything. And you didn't leave. You just kind of just made sure I was okay before anything. And that definitely helped me. And I just want to say for both of you guys, thank you for all that you've done for this church. And I know everyone would agree to that. And that we all love you and we can't wait to see what you're going to do. I know the Lord has you and he's going to do amazing things through both of you. And we'll be cheering you on. And thank you for everything.
Hi, my name is Austin Hewitt, and I will be answering prompt 2. Do you have any favorite memories with Wyatt or Caris? Some of my favorite memories with you have just been Bible studies on Saturday mornings, whether we were talking about the Hittites or the Hawaiian Pigeon Bible or Ehud studying the morbidly obese dude, or what the heck John saw that he couldn't write in Revelation or whatever. Just playing Among Us and talking and joking and learning. Honestly, that was some of my favorite times. Even though I didn't love getting up all the time, getting to do all of that with you and with the guys, those are going to be great memories for the rest of my life. Also, the time we were playing Fortnite, it was you, me, Kevin, and Zach. And I don't remember what season it was, but we were playing Fortnite and all of us died except for you. And you went back into the storm and grabbed all our reboot cards, and you went across the map, found the reboot van, rebooted us all. We all died again. So you rebooted us a second time, and then me and Kevin died again. So you and Zach clutched, and we somehow got the win. And like, we were dying laughing the entire time. It was freaking insane and awesome. That might have been my favorite win of all time. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, that was a great memory. So yeah, I got a lot of other great memories, but those are some of my favorites. Prompt 4, do you have any words of encouragement for Wyatt and or Caris? I just want to start off by saying to both of you, Wyatt and Caris, thank you guys for just being y'all. Thank you for being a godly couple and showing all of us what a godly couple looks like, and what a godly marriage looks like, because a lot of us all of us really have parents who are older, have kids and stuff, and so we don't really get to see those marriages that are with people that are in their 20s, don't have kids. For a while, y'all didn't have a house, and so getting to see that has been it's been really cool, and kind of seeing just how all of that works has been really cool. So thank you guys for just being a good example for us, and helping us know what to do when we get to that point. Also, Wyatt, thank you for getting up on Saturday mornings and taking the time out to make us breakfast and do Bible study with us, and just fellowshipping with us. That I think we had some life-changing moments in that, and it was just really good, and I'm really thankful that we got to spend that time. I miss that a lot now. I miss those Bible studies, but thank you for letting us come every morning when most people would be sleeping in on a Saturday, especially when you have to get up early the next day for work. So thank you for that. And Caris, thank you for letting us invade your home every week, because I know that could not have been easy. But thank you for just opening up your home to us time after time, for SLT meetings and stuff too, and for when we watched 300. Thank you just for for letting us in, letting us hang out with your husband. I know that wasn't always probably easy, but thank you for allowing us to do all of that. And also, Caris, thank you for pouring into Wyatt, and for supporting him and helping him be stronger. As the great Jerry Maguire, Jack's doppelganger, once said, "You complete him." Obviously, a slight paraphrase there, but I really, no offense to Wyatt, but I don't think he could be as incredible he is without you by his side, supporting him, encouraging him, loving on him, keeping him in check, because I'm sure you have. But thank you just for standing with him, and pushing him to be great. It's really special, so thank you for that. And also thank you for pouring into all of the girls in South Tulsa, and training them to be godly young women. They adore you. They love you so much, more than you can possibly imagine. You've been such a blessing to them, and I'm honestly really excited to see what you do at BA with the girls there. So thank you, Caris, very, very much. And Wyatt, James 2:18 says that a person's faith should be shown through their works. And assuming that's true, and it's scripture, so I'm going to take it as true, your faith has got to be insanely strong, dude, because I see you working it out all the time. Whether you're just being kind to people, which you do a lot more than you probably realize, whether you're being patient, how hard you work, your work ethic is something that I seek to emulate. And your selflessness, always putting people, not on a pedestal, but just encouraging them and pushing them to be great, and helping them realize their full potential, which they probably wouldn't realize without you pushing them. Because, I mean, like, I would stop short because, I don't know, I just would. And so you pushing me to be more, to be better, it's honestly really important to me, and I'm grateful for it. And I know you've done that with other people as well, and they feel the same. Also, just the joy that you exude, like, even when we'd be like stacking chairs on a girls' night, like, you getting everybody hype, like, it's something, it's tiny, it's a small thing, but it's a big thing, because carrying those small moments time after time after time is contagious, and it builds, and people notice it, and they want it, and they start doing the same thing because they see how good it is, and they see God's goodness in you. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. So thank you for that. You've been an instrument in change here. I mean, Paul planted and Apollos watered, but God made it grow. But God used you to change people's lives. If you ever wondered when you were transferring from Sam Houston, however many years ago that was, if what you were doing was right, and why in the world God was having you give up a full ride to come back to Tulsa, go to an expensive school, the lives that you've impacted in this building, or in the student building, because I'm not there right now, but the lives that you've impacted in students, whether it's leaders or kids, that's why God called you. People have chosen to walk and cross over from death to life, and they've chosen to desire more of God's presence and really dive into their faith more because you chose to obey. You chose to be radically obedient and do something that I'm sure I know you've said before it sounded crazy to your family, and it probably sounded crazy to you, but it has left an eternal impact on the people here, and that impact is going to ripple forever, because we'll have kids and they'll have kids, and because you were obedient, lives have been changed. Please don't ever lose that fire that you have that made you go knocking on people's doors in a towel, telling them not to invite you to parties anymore. Please don't ever lose that fire, because you've seen what it's done at South Tulsa in the last 4 years, and our church isn't about numbers, but like, you've seen how much we've grown in numbers, and you've seen how much we've grown as people and as a family, and just the buy-in that is here now that wasn't there before, or at least wasn't there in such great quantity. So please don't ever let that die. BA needs that fire from you now, just like we did 4 years ago. And Wyatt, I can confidently say that you are a man after God's own heart. And you push me, you have pushed me, and you continue to push me to do the same, be the same, as well as the other guys here and the girls as well. You push us to seek the Lord and commit, and you lead by example in that. And it's rare to see a young man who is so consistently on fire for the Lord and is willing to seek to reignite that fire when times are difficult, and is willing to push themselves and really work on their faith. That's rare and it's precious, and I'm so grateful that you are that man, because I'm thankful for it. You've shown me how to take a hold of my faith and really transform it into my own faith, and grab hold of it, make it my own, grow my faith, and desire to grow more, and have that desire to never stop growing. And you've helped shape me into a young man, and you've shaped me into a positive one, and you've been an extremely positive influence for me and a lot of other people. When I was a kid, I always had this dream, you can see it back there, of always being the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, winning MVPs, winning championships, Super Bowls, whatever the heck they're called. Being this great player, that was my dream. That was what I wanted to be when I grew up. And then I became a lineman. But also, I met you. And now my dream is that, and my hope is that when I grow up, I will be another Wyatt Pennington. Because then when I get to heaven, I'm going to hear God say, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant," just like you were. So yeah.
You know, one of the things I love about you, Wyatt, is how fearless you are. You know, there's 25 instances in the Bible where God tells us to be strong and courageous. And I think those two words describe you perfectly. While your life and your testimony show incredible strength and endurance to deal with whatever life throws at you, I think it's your courage that I admire the most. From switching your major midway through college to joining or becoming a youth pastor right before a pandemic, your life and your decisions have been marked by courage. On a more personal level, you've never been afraid to let people know what they need to hear. You're not afraid to call us out whenever we've been slacking off or correct us if we're doing something wrong. And sometimes it hurts, but Hebrews 12:11 says, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but later on it produces a harvest of righteousness for those who have been trained by it." You know, if you were fearful, it would be easy just to stand idly by and watch us ruin our lives. But your honesty and transparency reminds us who we are as children of God and what our responsibility is. I think you've shown us all the possibilities of being a man without fear, that we can serve better when we are fearless, that we can help others when we are fearless, that we can be open with our faith when we are fearless. So for all the kids at BA, keep being strong and keep being courageous, because the Spirit of God does not make us timid, but gives us power and love and self-discipline. You know, I think one of my favorite memories would have to be the 2022 church camp. I mean, obviously, that was the week I gave my life to Christ, so that's automatically cemented best memory of my life. But I know we were also in talks about getting me baptized that same week. I think we'd been going back and forth on whether I should be baptized at South Tulsa or at Eagle Sky, but I think it was Thursday night I decided I want to be baptized at Eagle Sky. So, Thursday after service, I went up to you and I said, "Hey Wyatt, are you doing baptisms tomorrow?" And you said yes. And so then I asked, "Well, could you do me?" And just seeing your face light up in that moment really shows me the passion that you have for this. The fact that you were excited about guiding me through that first step of obedience is inspiring. You know, I think a lot of people, when they think of sharing Christ with others, they think of it as a burden. But you know it's the exact opposite. Sharing Christ with others is something to be excited about because you're leading them from death to life. You know, initially when you announced that you were leaving, I was devastated. I mean, it helped that I had work an hour and a half later because that meant I had to speed run through the stages of grief. I mean, I was angry. I was sad. And I had to reach acceptance before I went to go wash up some golf carts. And so I did. I've reached the point where I've accepted it, and I'm honestly excited for this next phase of Battlecreek Church. But it's situations like these that make me wonder, you know, why is it that we miss people? You know, that's something I ponder a lot, is what it means to truly miss someone for who they are. You know, why are we going to miss you specifically, Wyatt and Caris Pennington? There's a quote that comes to mind when I think of all this. It says, "But what is grief, if not love persevering?" Now, it's not from the Bible, but it feels relevant. Because let's be honest, I mean, we're not sad because we're losing you. We're sad because we love you. So that brings me right back to my previous question. Why do we love you specifically, Wyatt and Caris Pennington? I think John 15:13 is why. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. To me, that means it's not about what you have, but it's about what you give. It's not that you have certain qualities or have spent enough time with us. It's because you both sacrificed so much to help us grow into the men and women of God that we are today. You've sacrificed your time, energy, money, blood, sweat, and tears to give us not only the best church experience I've seen in my life, but to give us friends, leaders, a brother and sister, to give us you. Wyatt and Caris, you two are such blessings to us all. And that's what God has to give. I think that's why we're going to miss you, because you are God's gift to South Tulsa. And it's hard. It's hard to let go because we want to hang on to all God has given us. But we know that you've been called according to God's perfect and pleasing will for such a time as this. So as much as I hate to say it, because we love you, we know that we also have to make the sacrifice of moving on.
So I guess my favorite part about Wyatt's job at Battlecreek was something that we had prayed for. It's just that his first job in ministry, there would be a healthy church culture, that he would be under good leaders. And so I think that's been my favorite part, is watching him grow under good leadership and flourish.
When I think about the past 4 years, the people are the greatest part of it, and the relationships that we've been able to build, and all of my most fond memories have to do with the people. Yeah, I think the thing I'm gonna miss the most is our students and the camaraderie that we have.
There will be so many things that we miss about South Tulsa. Obviously, the students, I think, is number one. Which I think is what makes it a hard goodbye, is because how much we love every single student. And I think it's the aspect of like getting to watch students, like when you're here for a couple of years, you get to watch them grow up. I think overall our students and our dream team, because they become our family. And so I think that is the hardest goodbye. But we're so blessed that will be the thing that we get to miss.
So, goodbye, Wyatt and Caris.
Okay, bye Caris and Wyatt.
So goodbye, Penningtons.
But thank you, Wyatt. Bye. I love you, Caris.
Goodbye, Wyatt.
I love you guys so much.
We love you, and you will always have a home at South Tulsa.
May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Would the Lord make his face shine on you
and be gracious to you.
The Lord turn his face towards you
and give you peace.